What up, YouTube? Looking today to give you a little overview of how I set up my Unraid server to run my holiday light show using the Light-O-Rama and a VM machine, right? So this was actually a really easy setup for pass-through and everything because we're using a USB device, right? We've got our RS 485 right here, right? And we've just got that hooked up to our Unraid server that's currently hanging out in my office for demoing. So, I'm not going to go over the whole process of Unraid and setting up a VM machine, but what I did want to point out was how I got to this point, right? So I've hooked up our USB. I go under Tools here, right? And we can look under System Devices. And once I plugged in, lo and behold, I was able to find our 232 serial adapter, right? So again, this says FT232. This says 485, right? Our USB 485. But that's what you're looking for, okay? So when you go into your settings, right, your VM settings, actually let me back out of that and I'll show you how I got to that. Close that too. Okay. Go into our virtual machines, right? And we're going to edit it. Even though it's running, we're not going to make any changes. I just want to point this out to you, right? So we come down here and under USB devices, before it was unchecked and I just checked it. And that's going to pass it through to your system, right? So I've got just a emulator open right now. So I'm VNCing into the virtual machine, right? And I've loaded up the setup. So the rest of this is just like you would do on a regular Windows system, right? And this is just a regular Windows system that's running in this VM. So, it was set up as COM3, and I did our little scan, and I've got my little CCB 100 set up for demoing, right? So just give it a little on here and boom, right? Working. So again, now why do it with an Unraid? Well, I had it available, right? I'm using it as a Plex server. I've got a couple other things I've been playing with too, working with some game servers and things like that, but I've got plenty of horsepower, right? I've got Ryzen 5 there, since I just did an upgrade on my main system. And about the only thing I'm really lagging that I need to definitely get onto is some memory, because I've got most of this being dedicated to our VM over here, right? But I had this available, and I think it's going to work a lot better than a little old laptop I had. I had a 2012 laptop laying around that has been the driving force of this for a while, and it was just terrible to work with because it was, basically an Ultrabook. So, now we've got this. I can do my sequencing editing and things like that on the VM. And there's going to be a couple other things you want to deal with too, just to point it out. Again, pass-throughs, right? So sound, right? With sound, you're also going to be passing through some things. Okay. So let's go up here. Right, sound cards here. So we've got pull down right here. Of course, I can't change it right now because I've got it running. But you're going to want to pass through your sound card, right? If you want to get audio off of the back of your setup, right? Of course, you could hook up your wireless FM transmitter right to the back of your Unraid server, and boom, you've got your sound going. And then, like, what I do is I just have the stereo that I use for the people who are walking by that want to watch the show. I've just got a little stereo set up with that pulls the FM signal, so they don't have to be right next to each other, right? I don't have to have the stereo hooked up right to it. Again, that's just going to be by making that change, right? You can see I've got my sound card already passed through to that. So that's my setup. Make it a little bit shiny for the end here, right? Of course, my phone is giving me grief here. Thank you. All right. Yay! So let me know what you think in the comments, right, about this setup. Any tips you might have on that. Again, I'm going to be trying this out for the first time this this Halloween, and we'll see how it runs.